Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me because I've been having problems with my sound a lot. And a lot of times it's the sound shuts off as I am live, which I still haven't gotten an answer to. So let me know if you can hear me, and I will share some of the stuff that I've seen today. Hey, Georgette, how are you? Yeah, let me know if you can hear me because, as you know, yesterday I did a video from the street. It's and they shut down my sound in the middle of the video. I don't know if you saw that. In the middle of the street, they shut down my sound. So I don't know why. I don't know what. I mean, it's definitely not my phones because it happens to me from different phones. But this is what I want to share with you today. So today's January 6th. I had a super busy beginning of the year. Obviously Christmas, New Year's, then for me, my birthday. And now we have sort of another busy day today because of my heritage. Today is another holiday for us. But as I told you last year, just a couple weeks ago, this would be a very, very, very busy year for me. Today, I've been seeing a lot of what's going on with this January 6th circus, because that's really what it turned into. I see some Republicans out there questioning why some people have been charged and not others. I actually agree with that. I mean, regardless of what we think of what people did that day and how it happened and why it happened. I heard a comment this morning, why are these people in jail and not these people in jail? Well, I mean, I don't honestly think at this point anybody should be in jail. I think people should have had their day in court, and whatever's going to come out of it. If they're going to, I mean, they should have at least had their day in court, and I know some of them haven't. But I do agree with everyone treated equally. If somebody was next to Ashley Babbitt and he sold his tape, well, I mean, in the end, he's one of the people that they are targeting and looking for, and he should be charged or not at all, or whatever they decide. But other people that were inside should be treated equally. So why are some people being charged and some people are not? I mean, we've seen a lot worse when it comes to riots. We've seen a lot more violence. We've seen buildings being burnt down. We've seen police precincts, courthouses, all kinds of different things. So it's the beginning of a very wild year because we have, obviously, it's 2022. We have elections once again. The Democrats are going to get, they are going to get desperate. They're going to get aggressive when it comes to their strategies and their tactics. Joe Biden mentioned this morning that perhaps President Trump should have had other ways and better strategies. Well, maybe. But you know what? Getting hit with a pandemic the year of an election, of a presidential election, seemed pretty obvious to me. This is why you have to be very strategic when combating your enemies. And I feel that, President Trump should have been in the beginning of 2020 a lot more aware of the fact that these people will stop at nothing. They're criminals. They lie and lie and lie, and they will stop at nothing. Hi, everybody. Hi, Autumn. Hi, Jerry. And they will stop at nothing to get what they want. So it's very important to fight them back. It's very important to expose them constantly. And I don't care if it sounds repetitive. I don't care if it sounds whatever it may sound, because in the end, they got away with it. They got away with taking back the White House. They're in the White House now. They got away with making all of us, our entire party, look like criminals. They got away with making President Trump look like a deranged dictator who wanted power at any cost, which is not the case. We just wanted transparency. We just wanted answers. We wanted justice. We wanted, America was very divided. And like I said earlier, whether millions of new people voted for Joe Biden or not, whether that was actually true or not, we wanted absolute transparency when it came to the 2020 elections. But it's very, very important to fight back. For me, I know that some of you have been following my journey over the last few years. I've been under a lot of attack, even from, not just from social media and the media, but personal attacks. And hi, William Solia from New York City. I've been under, speaking of which, New York City, I've been under a lot of attacks over the last few years. But the way but regardless, I haven't had the consequences that these people wanted me to have. So I always compare, Look at what they've done to President Trump. He's out of the White House. Now he's under investigation for whatever business operations and assets and whatever he has going on. But now he's under investigation. His children are being subpoenaed to these investigations. He's not in the White House. They basically got away with what they wanted. And I've been lucky enough in some ways to experience a lot over the last few years, right? But as some of my enemies would say, enough is enough, right? My political career, my activism, my animal rescue, my personal life would be in a whole different place if it wasn't for these people. Granted, I've learned a lot from it, but the damage that has been caused has been tremendous. One of the consequences that I had was obviously getting my page, my big page removed. They kept on reporting it. I engaged, maybe in ways that I shouldn't have from that page. I should have used an alternate page. And they got away with taking down my big page, and then Facebook claiming that I was a foreign actor or a foreign citizen acting as a bad actor, from another country. But I think everyone should have consequences for their bad actions. With me, I've been through numerous frivolous lawsuits that I've won, every single one. And but the bottom line is that it doesn't take away from the fact that these people are criminals, and they will lie and lie and lie. And we cannot give up on fighting them. Pretty soon, my first huge lawsuit will be presented against some of them for the damage they have done. The evidence is pretty clear. The evidence is pretty evident, the evidence is pretty evident. It's all there. It's all documented. And because the problem is, until one goes down, the rest of them won't stop, right? I mean, not that they haven't stopped already as far as legally, but until one really goes down and gets hit with consequences for their crimes and for their actions, and I don't care, they can go do all the santeria and brujeria that they want, enough is enough. And a lot of them have stopped with their real accounts because now they're cowards. Now they're afraid. But pretty soon I'll have news for you. I spent a lot of my life in Mexico. In Mexico, we don't really do lawsuits. We don't really deal with a lot of law and whenever somebody does something. Mexico is a pretty lawless country, so we're afraid of doing things that we shouldn't do. I had a few people falsify some documents against me back in 2012, I think it was. They carried out an entire procedure with a fake signature. Not a fake signature, but a fake document where they used a signature that didn't belong there. That's a big deal, guys. They carried out an entire expensive procedure with me, right? Showed up one day. When I saw the document, I obviously said, I didn't sign this. This isn't mine, and you know that. And I just had to say a few words. And after that entire procedure that took them 6 months, they knew they were in the wrong, and they never came back. They never came back. And because of what they had done, and especially without notifying me, which is, serving you basically, they basically by default had won. They had won a judgment. And they had every legal capacity to carry out that judgment. But all I had to do was say, this was wrong. I didn't sign this. I mean, it is my signature, but you made me sign something else. No wonder why there was a big space between here and here. And this is when you start learning stuff about life and about criminals. Long story short, guys, they left, and this group of criminals never came back. They never came back. All I had to do was say a few things. I said, you've already carried out an entire procedure. You purposely didn't serve me so that I wouldn't fight back and I wouldn't expose you in court before a judge. And you really don't want to do this. I mean, do you really want to do this over, $5,000 or $6,000? Really? They looked at each other and they were like, let's leave. It probably cost them at least $2,000 to carry this out for as long as they had carried it out. And maybe hoping that they could get away with it, right? And that's what people do. They only go as far as you let them. Again, long story short, I never heard back from them. Not once. They didn't bother me once, ever again. That's how Mexico works, though. They falsified a document and didn't work out for them. But as far as America, though, it works a little different, And so pretty soon, some of the people that originated this whole smear campaign against me and who have caused so much damage to my public name, my life, my personal life, my finances, and everything that I do, will start seeing the consequences. And again, they could do all the brujeria, santeria, and call everybody here and there and everywhere, and they could do whatever they want. The bottom line is that they're going to start paying for what they did. I never stopped calling them out. I never stopped exposing the truth. And even though I've spent the last 3 years of my life fighting them off, the bottom line is that I'm still here. And yeah, a lot of damages were caused. But some of these people wanted to put me in jail, guys. Some of these people went to judges in courts, claiming death threats, claiming all kinds of things that they knew were false, claiming, things that they have no way of proving whatsoever. And they were just hoping that they would stick. But whether they had any way of proving it or not, it didn't take away from the fact that they were serious accusations. And I'm not just talking about, civil lawsuits. I'm talking about criminal charges. And so, again, until one of them goes down, until one of them actually realizes, see, again, I'm not used to the whole going to court. I mean, I could have gone to court with those clowns back in 2012. I could have submitted something to the judge and said, I didn't sign this and this, and I mean, again, that's my signature, but I didn't sign that statement, which was an IOU basically. And these people falsified that document or whatever. I could have done that. I could have easily done that, and then I would have had to hire an attorney, and we would have gone through probably months, if not years, of civil litigation, right? I wasn't going to do that. I said, no, you know what? No, for $6,000, really? And then you're going to do all that for $6,000? What? That's going to end up putting you in jail, really? Again, things get handled different in Mexico. But in America, though, things work a little different. So, pretty soon, the people that orchestrated all of this are going to start seeing the consequences for everything they had done. And I had put it off to the side. I had said, I'm just going to, forget about it, whatever. But recently, they started again. Because apparently what they did for 3 years was not enough. And basically doing everything they once falsely accused me of, which is stalking, which is an obsession with someone. It's really hard to be obsessed with someone you don't care about. And at all, whatsoever. And so anyway, until people see the consequences of their actions, they're most likely not going to stop. And especially with me, because it's a group, just like it is for President Trump. It's not just one person, it's a group. It's a whole party. And I feel he should have focused a lot more on counterattacking during his years of presidency. Also focused more on his social media during his years of presidency, so that thousands of us, especially some of his top voices, such as myself, because I was reaching 20 million people a month, wouldn't be absolutely silenced, which is what just happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene a few days ago, first from Twitter and I believe now Facebook, right? And now she's stuck kind of in limbo and has nowhere to go. And, now everybody's going to get her. I don't even have get her. But I feel that 5 years ago, a social media network should have been established by Donald Trump, where we could all have our most basic constitutional right, which is free speech, right? And so anyway, guys, I wanted to share that with you because damages and battles, they have to be fought. Damages have to be recovered when people do damage. And to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure if President Trump will run again in 2024. I would hope that he would. I really do. But I think they will try to intimidate him from running in so many ways, which is why they already have this investigation where his children are being subpoenaed and everything else. Why? Because they're terrified of him running in 2024. Why? Because the Biden administration obviously is running America into the ground. Inflation, gas prices, lockdowns, mandates, you name it. They're destroying America. Open borders, all of it. They're destroying America. So obviously in 2024, I feel President Trump would win, without a problem. But they have so much on him that he never disputed, that he never fought back about, that he never openly talked about, that I feel they are going to intimidate him from running in 2024. I don't know who the heck our candidate would be in 2024 if not for President Trump, possibly Ted Cruz, even though a lot of people are upset with Ted Cruz at this point. But from what I read today anyway. But it's unfortunate that through attacks, they deter you. And they try to change your destiny. For me, they caused a lot of damage, but not enough damage to see their objectives being carried out. I mean, again, people went to court and accused me of fake, very serious charges that have now been withdrawn, dismissed, thrown out, made very serious accusations that if I wouldn't have disputed openly and intelligently, they could have probably caused a lot of damage to me. The bottom line is that I'm still here. And the bottom line is that anything that's out there from these people, whatever little left is left, is absolutely false. I mean, if 95% of it was false, you don't think the other 5% is false? Of course it is. And all of it has gone to court. Every single one. Every single case that I've showed up in court for, I have won. And there's been many. Why? Because I never stay quiet. I don't care who it is. I never stay quiet. And I don't think in times like this or in other times, many of these people that we have on our side should have stayed quiet. The only way is to speak the truth. The truth will set us free. Remember that. And against all odds, I spoke up against a group of people that collectively could have done a lot of damage to me as a person. I mean, they caused a lot of damage to me professionally and financially, and perhaps emotionally and psychologically. But the bottom line is that I'm still here. And the bottom line is that I may have not recovered yet financially and as far as my reputation and everything else, but I will. But the damage was done. And I feel that at least psychologically, from all the damage that they did, I've mostly recovered. but the damage was there. The damage was done. So anyway, they're going to go crazy with this video. And they're going to try to throw out there as much as they want, you know, and try to hurry up before any of this happens. But remember that knowing how to fight a crisis, knowing how to strategically fight back, whether it's at a smaller level, you know, with me, with a bunch of small criminals, or at a bigger level, like it was for President Trump, is a key to it all. And I think if that would have been done a little different, President Trump would still be at the White House right now. And also, we wouldn't be going through all the things that we're going through right now. And because, as he said once to the African Americans, what the hell do you have to lose, right? What the hell do you have to lose? I've used my social media platforms to fight back, and I've been highly criticized for it. But I haven't spent the money, I haven't spent a dime on attorneys. I've done it all by myself through Facebook and social media and live videos and posts. And I've won every single case that I've showed up in court for. So anyway, I will talk to you soon. And I've learned a lot from it. Though major damages were caused. And this will be the year of recovery from those damages. People should have never, ever started this war against me. Do whatever you want. Go to this one and that one and do whatever you want. It's just going to get worse. Especially recently, you know, I had agreed to certain things that were not complied with, basically, you know. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you soon. And remember, the only way to fight back is to never, ever stay quiet. As far as me, we're probably going to see people in jail. As far as me, we're going to see people running around like chickens with their head cut off for what they've done. It was so simple. It was so simple. They just had to leave me alone and not commit crimes. It was so simple. Very simple. Very simple. I don't care if you're laughing about it. I got the upper hand here. Because as far as I know, the false cases, I won them. As far as I know, the cases have been withdrawn. Not even dismissed, withdrawn. So, you should have never done that. You should have never done that. And so anyway, and whatever little threats you have against me, I think you know how false they are. And once it all comes together, I don't think it's that hard to figure it out. It's really not that hard. So do whatever you want, you know, do whatever you want. But I think leaving me alone should have probably been the best bet. You know, especially when this is an organized, an orchestrated attack. And it's pretty obvious. I mean, your own friends exposing you, your own friends calling you out for your lies and your organized crimes and everything else, you know. And then don't even get me started with the guy in Mexico. Another one that's running around scared, you know. I mean, slandering me, publicly slandering me on media in Mexico. I'm going to put out a statement today, and you know, we're going to have to take action against him. I told him, you know, January will come soon, and I didn't cause any psychological damage to any kid, and that could potentially ruin my future in politics. Unless it's proven to be false. And it is, because that didn't happen, okay? Psychological damage has to be certified by a professional, not just something that we say on social media, right? And so, anyway, I will talk to you soon, and do whatever you want. You know, call whoever, brujo, padrino, this one, that one. You should have left me alone. Send me a message, you know. You want to talk about this before I go forward? Let's talk about it. Very simple. You caused a lot of damage. And I gave Oscar the option last year, or 2 years ago now, to take down the videos, apologize, and whatever else. He chose not to take that option. Remember I gave it to him through his mistress and through my post. I gave him that option. Then I had to confront him. Then he committed some actions that legally are going to cost him a lot of money. So who's at fault? He is. It was so simple. Take down the videos, baja los videos, apologize, tell the truth, and we all move on. He chose not to do that. I'm going to move forward with a huge lawsuit. Huge. Huge. Against one of the people that committed a major crime against me. And depending on the discovery and what I read on that discovery and statements, obviously, and everything else, we may even get other people involved. You know, who knows? I have to base it off the statements, which I requested today from the courts. And maybe people in Texas will be involved too, depending. I don't know. I have to see the discovery and the claims and whatever else, right? But I always feel that we have a saying in Mexico that you're better off coming to agreeing on something than having a long legal battle, because long legal battles cost a lot of money and a lot of time. And from everything that I've been through over the last 3 years, I'm willing to do that. You know, I'm willing to take the time and whatever it takes to take this on. So, and with some of them, I'm past the statute of limitations, but with some of them I'm not. And I'm going to move forward with a huge lawsuit for what you've done. And I think that will pretty much clear everything else and everybody else. Not clear them, but clear up what everybody else has done. And then from there comes the criminal part of it. Okay? Anyway, let me know. And again, I gave Oscar the option. And the bottom line is that I should have never been lied about to courts and slandered and harassed and stalked and terrorized for 3 years. Should have never happened, but it did. And it was a crime, and it was wrong, and it was false. Okay? Hi, Julie. Oh, Julie's back. Where have you been, Julie? Where has Julie been? I just saw her log on. Anyway, I don't know where she's been, but send me a message, Julie, because I haven't seen you in like weeks. Okay? Anyway, bye, guys. Bye, everybody.